Welcome to the Matrix Green Pill podcast, where we bring you the stories of inspiring individuals who have turned challenges into incredible opportunities. I'm your host, Hilmarie Hutchison, and today's guest is a powerhouse entrepreneur who has built a thriving seven-figure digital marketing agency from the ground up. Lamia Tabina is the founder of Logo & Co. She has helped over 2,000 entrepreneurs and 1,000 brands enhance their online presence. From starting a consignment business in her basement to running a multi-seven-figure agency in the UAE, her journey is nothing short of remarkable. She's also a passionate advocate for women's empowerment, helping women launch businesses and achieve financial independence. I'm so excited to hear her insights on digital marketing, brand building, and entrepreneurship. Lamia, welcome and thank you so much for joining me today.
Hello, thank you so much for having me.
Can we start off by you sharing a little bit about your background and how you ended up here in the UAE?
Yes, so I studied communication marketing in Canada. While I was in my last year of university, I was like, okay, I need some money. How can I make some money to pay off the end of my degree? So what I did is I started selling clothes from my basement, which was like consignment. And I got really serious about that. And it became popular with my friends. I even used my friends as models to sell my clothes, and I put it on Facebook market groups. And that was kind of like my first entrepreneurship journey. And then I came here. I was jobless for a while. I did have a lot of experience working since I was 16 years old in like fashion and even banking. I didn't want to settle for less for any job with any amount. Since I didn't find a job, I'm like, okay, I'm going to start a clothing line. I started drawing my own sketches, and then I found a local seamstress who was making dresses for me. And then I started a fashion line on Instagram. Through that, and making my own social media posts, I realized I was actually really good at design and marketing. I started selling logos online in groups, on WhatsApp groups, and charging people about 100 dirhams, which is about $30 a logo. That got really popular. They started telling their friends about it. And then they're like, okay, from logos, they started asking me to manage their social media pages. And I started managing all by myself. Then I got really busy. I hired my first staff member. And now we are about 20 people in my agency that work. And we work across the GCC.
What an incredible story. So from creating your own income back in Canada to pay off for school, you just went on after that each time to see how you could create something yourself. Rather than work for a company, you were creating your own opportunities. That's absolutely incredible. Logo & Co has helped over 1,000 brands to grow their online presence. What are some of the common mistakes businesses make when trying to market themselves online?
So we have a lot of first-time entrepreneurs who don't do a business plan before they create their business. They're just like, okay, I want to start a business. They think that a business is just making a logo, getting from a supplier, and start selling. They don't make a proper plan. But once you start making a business plan and have everything written out, then you have a successful roadmap to follow in order for you to be successful. So one of the biggest mistakes I've seen business or entrepreneurs do is not have a business plan to follow. They're just doing this, that, and trying to make it work. And they're not also doing research on the type of industry they're going into.
That's really interesting and really good insight that you shared there. So having a business plan is absolutely important. In 2022, you also launched a health and wellness e-commerce platform. What were some of the challenges that you faced in the e-commerce space, and what lessons did you take away from that experience?
I started the e-commerce brand at justme.ae, and I collaborated with 250 local suppliers in the UAE to sell on my platform. That was a huge learning experience for me. I learned a lot beforehand in making contracts and how to make collaborations with suppliers. The business started growing more than what I was capable of. It grew exponentially. And what I did is I hired one of my friends to be the operations manager of that business to operate everything for me and to keep track of the documents and my suppliers and all that. I guess my mistake was because I wasn't involved that much because I did have Logo and Co. and I trusted the operations manager would hold everything. The downfall for that business was the operations manager decided to disappear one day with all the documents, and that got me into a lot of trouble with the suppliers. So I did had to shut down Just Meat, and I had to find the numbers of all the suppliers and contact them and tell them what was going on. That was a big learning point for me, is to always keep everything documented and have passwords for everything that has to do with my business and not fully trust someone to run it for me.
What a terrible experience, but also, as you say, a very good learning experience, that there are certain things you can't leave over just to other people, that you have to have systems, processes in place so that your things that are very valuable are secure and someone can't just walk away with them. Thank you for sharing that experience. Let's shift gears and talk about women empowerment. You've built a strong community of women entrepreneurs. Why is empowering women in business so important to you? And how do you help them achieve financial independence?
So when I moved back here, I got married and I got pregnant right away. And like I said, I didn't settle for any job. But I knew that if I was pregnant and I would have to be there for my child, but I didn't want to give up working just because I had children. I see that a lot with the female entrepreneurs that are coming to me. They want to leave their 9 to 5 jobs so they could spend more time with their family and their kids at home. So they do want to start online businesses. And that's kind of like my passion. Once I started hearing the stories of these women who are just like me, I started wanting to help them make their dreams come true and for them to be have financial freedom as well. I would tell them, okay, you can do it as well, just as I did. And I would tell them my own story and I would help them build a solid business plan. A lot of them started off as female entrepreneurs, like small businesses at home. So they started selling like chocolates or sweets. They ended up being some of the biggest businesses here in the UAE now. That made me being part of that for them makes me so happy. And that's why I created Chic CEO, which is a platform where I provide consulting for aspiring female entrepreneurs to start businesses at home or online. I love being part of their success story and helping them establish their businesses from A to Z.
This sounds like an excellent solution that you have created to support women entrepreneurs. So, how does it work? Sort of unpack that for us a little bit. Someone comes to you and you work with them one on one, or do you give them resources to work with? Or how does it work exactly?
Yes, so I did have master courses on my website where you could purchase a course and just create a business plan by yourself by following the videos. But I realized a lot of the women that were coming to me that wanted to start businesses, they were a little bit lost. So I would offer them a one-on-one consultation, which is about 1 hour long. Within the consultation, we would go over the steps to starting the business. For example, do you have suppliers? Do you know what your profit margins are? Have you covered your logistics? Because a lot of first time business, they don't know these things. So I make sure we go over these elements and these business terms and we fill them out so they're properly ready and they could do the planning. So after the one-on-one consultation, which they book with me through WhatsApp, I follow up with them to see if they have progressed. I also give them homework, kind of like homework to see if they're following the plan and if they need any helps, because there is a lot of bumps throughout the way of the entrepreneurship. So I make sure they're going the right direction.
That's excellent because, as you say, setting up a new business, there are so many hurdles to get over. So to have somebody that can hold your hand, show you the way so you don't make unnecessary mistakes and rather follow a straight path to the goal that you've set. So that sounds really excellent. Now, we know that you are in the digital marketing space. So let's talk a little bit about social media. We know today social media plays a crucial role in business. What are some tips for engaging an audience and converting followers into loyal customers?
The thing with entrepreneurs sometimes is they feel like they can manage their social media accounts by themselves. I really truly believe that if they want to grow the business, they have to give it to an agency such as mine, for us to do all the work the proper way. Because social media is not just about posting on Instagram and just hoping to get viral. There needs to be a strategy, a plan. We help them with their photo shoot, their videography. We make the content for them in advance and they approve it. And that way, everything is done in advance and we could schedule it and they could focus on growing their business instead of focusing on what to post on social media. We also work with, we have a database of influencers, models, if they need models to work with their shoots, UGC creators. And we're also keep up to date with the trending content. We make sure that all the content we're posting for our clients is trending with hopes to get our client go viral. One of the biggest mistakes that some clients do is not putting ads on their posts and just hoping for their post to go viral. But I highly recommend putting at least 500 dirhams in a month on ads for Instagram algorithm to make it grow for your account. The client is not putting money in the ads. They're not seeing much results and they end up blaming us. I try to tell them from the beginning, you need to put money on digital marketing and on ads. If they have a website, I recommend search engine optimization for them, Google ads, and Meta ads, most importantly, so that their content could be new people can reach their content while they're scrolling and they can get a new following and new exposure for their business.
Some really good tips. Thank you for sharing that. And it's not just a simple posting here and there and hoping people are going to, and suddenly a post is going to go viral. There's planning behind it. There's strategy behind it. Your suggestion is let somebody who's an expert at that do that part for you, and then you focus on making money and focus on what you're good at rather than try and dabble in something that you're not an expert in. Sort of on the same topic, digital marketing is constantly evolving. What trends do you see shaping the future of branding and online marketing?
I see UGC creators becoming very popular. Instead of people focusing on trying to make posts themselves, they'd send their PR packages to UGC creators to create content for them. So right now, what's becoming really popular is authentic content. That's not so design, not so much design, and it doesn't look like someone spent so much time designing it. People want to see raw, authentic content. They want to see behind the scenes of what's going on in your business. They want to see your face and who is the face of the brand. Now, some people don't like to put their face on the brand, but you can hire someone to be the face of your brand or give packages to multiple UGC creators to create content for you and to actually talk. So this type of content is becoming the most popular right now. And this is the type of content that's going to make you go viral, is authentic, real content.
That's really interesting. So people want to see people. And I like the idea that you said it's got to be authentic. So it doesn't have to be perfect and polished, and it shouldn't look like it was created for like a high gloss something. It should look authentic.
Yes, so even they want to see like how you started your brand so they could start relating to you. It's relatable content. Like I have a TikTok account which is Chic CEO and I'm like life of an agency owner. Maybe I can aspire women to create their own agencies so when they see some things that I do in life or when they see behind the scenes of what I do or when I give motivational quotes and tips, maybe it'll inspire them and they can relate to the type of content that I'm putting out.
I like the word you used there. The content needs to be relatable. So that's why what the audience and that's what your customers want to see is they want to see you. They don't want to see necessarily, perfect models. They want to see the authentic self. Who's the business? Who are the people in it? And behind the scenes, how did you grow your business? What are you doing behind the scenes? I think that's really good insight. You've started many businesses now through your career. You've started selling clothes, fashion, and logo design, health and wellness products. What advice would you give to someone who wants to start a business, but they feel they lack the resources or experience?
One of my biggest advices is to get someone, a professional mentor, to guide you through the way. I find, like I said, a lot of people start their businesses without a plan and they spend countless of hours searching on Google, and maybe it's the wrong things they're looking at. But if they have a mentor or a consultant that can give them the steps, then you'll be able to start quicker and you'll be going the right direction to where you want to go instead of trying to find it out yourself. So one of my biggest advices is to get consultation or to get a mentor to guide you to where you want to be. You tell them what your goals are and they will make the plan for you on how to get to your goals with a deadline and what you need to follow in order to get to that goal. So once your goal is out there and written, you manifest it to happening.
This has sort of been the theme through our chat, is not to rely only on your own resources, but actually look to others who have experience, tap into their knowledge of how things work. So be that a mentor, be that a consultant when it comes to doing the work to a social media agency or a communications agency, so that you can avoid some of the mistakes that entrepreneurs make when they're first starting out. And I think what you said a few times too is have a business plan. Don't just go into it thinking what you want to do. You need to have a business plan so that you can sort of plan out at least some of the steps ahead.
It's definitely worth the investment. It might be a small investment at the beginning, but it's definitely worth it to get you to the right direction.
You've given us some really good tips and some really nice insights into the life of an entrepreneur. Now we've come to the segment of our show where I'll ask you some rapid fire questions, our version of a game show. Are you ready?
Yes.
What's your go-to productivity hack?
So I use a system called ClickUp and it organizes my whole agency and my productivity. So my whole team can use it and I can see what they're doing at all times. I could see the progress, I could see the tasks, and all my clients' folders are in there. So I think it's one of the biggest and the best systems that I've ever used. It's called ClickUp.
What is one book or podcast that has influenced your journey?
My favorite podcast is the Six Figures podcast. Gives such great entrepreneurship advice. So I advise any entrepreneurship who has a business, who wants to start a business, to listen to the Six Figure podcast.
What is one thing you wish more people knew about starting a business?
I wish more people knew that starting a business does require a big investment. If you're not willing to invest, don't cheap out. And if you're not willing to do ads and marketing, then your business is most likely not going to succeed. It's going to be a very slow growth rate. Keep a money when you are starting a business, make sure you put a budget for ads and digital marketing in order for your business to grow.
Really interesting. What is one thing you do every day, no matter how busy you get?
One thing I do every day is make sure I give time for my kids, which is the number one thing. So when they do come home from school, I make sure to stop working around 3 o'clock and have lunch with them and have a conversation with them for about an hour. And then I'll get back to work if I have more work to do.
Excellent. Well, thank you for playing along. That was easy enough. Now I would like to ask you our signature question about your green pill moment. What was your green pill moment, the action or event that was the turning point for you or your career?
So, me being a consultant, I always felt like I didn't really need help outside. But I kept telling my husband, I feel like I'm in a bubble and I feel like there's more to know. So, what I did is I got myself a mentor finally, and they started mentoring me and took me out of the bubble. The most important thing they taught me is to automate the business. Automations are key, and to start hiring more people and stop trying to do everything by myself. Once I started automating the business and hiring more people to take care of things, I gained peace of mind and we grew the business by 30% over the past year.
That is an excellent green pill moment. So, good advice. So, you need to spend some money, invest in a mentor to be able to make money in the long run and also to get more peace of mind.
Some people, they feel like they know it all, but especially me when I'm consulting people and learning things from them. There's almost so much more to learn. That's why I make sure I watch videos and take courses as well on a daily basis so I can learn something new every day and incorporate it within my business.
That's excellent. Your journey is truly inspiring, and your impact on the business world, especially for women entrepreneurs, is incredible. Thank you so much for sharing your wisdom and experience with us today. Before we sign off, where can our listeners connect with you and learn more about Logo & Co. and also Chic CEO, you said?
Yes. So on Instagram, we have logoandco.uae and we have chic.ceo. You could find our handles on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Pinterest. We are on all the social media platforms. And you could see more of what we do on our website, www.logoandco.ae.
Thank you very much. And again, thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you so much for having me. It was a pleasure.
To our listeners, thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Matrix Green Pill podcast. If you enjoyed this conversation, be sure to subscribe, leave us a 5-star review, and stay connected for more inspiring stories. Until next time, keep chasing your dreams and making an impact.
If you enjoy our conversations, please like and subscribe. See you next Wednesday.